Hey guys, Bearded Bricks bringing you guys another set review. Today we are talking about the Viking Village, aka LEGO Ideas set number 51, or LEGO set number 21343, coming at you guys with 4 minifigures, 3 modular builds for $129.99 at your local retailer in the US. And overall, it's pretty appealing just by the first appearance that you see the set. We're going to go through the build, all the figures, and hopefully by the end of it, you get to be more informed and decide if you want to buy this set before it retires. Let's go ahead and jump into that. So LEGO Ideas is the theme that LEGO's been working on for the better part of 8 or more years now at this point. This is set number 51, meaning it was the 51st set approved and reviewed by LEGO after the community submitted and built the set themselves. So one person went through, built the set, said, I want this to be a thing LEGO should make. And it could have started out as a mock. It could have just been something they made digitally. Honestly, it could have just been a general idea that they had rendered. And they submitted it, it got enough hype, and then LEGO went through the process of picking the pieces out and trying to see if this set is something they could make without putting in extensive work to add new parts that have never been made before, or using what's currently available. And anyone can do this. It's not just like certain people or YouTubers or content creators. Anyone can start building with the LEGO tools that they provide on the website, so you guys can get your ideas out there, and maybe LEGO will make these sets for you. So that's a little bit of history on Ideas itself. We're going to go through the build now of this set and determine, is this build sound, where are there might be issues that people will run into, etc. All right, guys, so with this build, the way that is connected and separates are Technic pieces, technically. There are these little pins in between the builds. Give me 1 second. These builds have these little LEGO, like, what would be considered like droid arm or pin pieces, and they just go into these like slits on the side that they've crafted into this terrain piece that you build. And they just go in from this 1x2 Technic hole piece on the side of this build, as you guys can see here, and they just slide right together. I will slide them together towards the end of the video just so it'll be easier for us to review them. But we're going to go through each building one step at a time and just go through whether it's a solid structure or if there's some issues, or, you know, is it something you guys would enjoy to have in your D&D campaign, or we'll get into the ideas later on. The first building you guys have here is the blacksmith hut. The roof is one of my favorite pieces of the build. All of the roofs in this set, I will tell you right now, are fantastic. The way that this attaches to the building is it just sits on top. But one of the really cool things is these little roof pieces are held onto by these 1x2 bricks on the roof. And these wood pieces are what would be like these plates cross section on top to give it that really nice aesthetic. I can just get it on there. And it just looks really good when you sit it on top, and has a nice little groove for the chimney, and it just sits on there perfectly. Inside the build, we have a chimney for the blacksmith worker. We have a bunch of weapons and things already made, very similar to like the Mandalorian Forge that came out a while ago. It's definitely just a really detailed build. As you guys can see here, we have just water and an anvil, tools, tons of weapons, helmets. We have these frost-covered trees where some of them are better than others, like this one here on the side is much better design-wise, in my opinion, than the best thing they could do with these smaller plant pieces. Yeah, I might end up redoing the tree later on. It's just not the prettiest thing, but they have little snow patches on the sides of this, and then they have the stone path on the floor as well. Overall, just a really solid build, and the chimney itself has nice brick pieces inside and a fire. Definitely a cool build, and all of it, like I said, is built onto this piece that you guys will put together yourself with the build. Before we get into the next section of this build, I will tell you that this set does not have any stickers whatsoever. I believe most of the LEGO Idea sets do not have stickers. Don't quote me on that, because some might, but most of the ones that I bought do not have any stickers whatsoever. So the next part of this set, we have the guild, or like the gathering food area, the hall where they're all going to hang out. Again, another beautiful roof piece you guys can see here on both sides. Overall, just really good, solid. Same thing with as the previous roof. There's thatching the plates cross in the middle and attach. They also have these supports on the bottom that connect and support the build to rest on the top of the building, which is also really nice. Inside the building, we have a small little cooking area with a bit of chicken in there currently cooking, and then like a chair for like the king or the leader of the Vikings to feast or eat. There's also weapons on the inside. You guys can see there's shields and swords and spears inside. And then on the outside, we have a little bit more of the pier of this area. More attachments on both sides. We have foliage on the front and the back. All these detailed windows on all sides. Just definitely super cool and detailed. The doors are fantastic and they open up. All brick built doors, which I feel like LEGO should do more of. It's kind of criminal that they can make something this cool and we don't see enough of it from other builds, or other builds don't get the same treatment. Getting into the last and potentially the longest build of this set is like this watchtower. It's very interesting. It's like an offloading watchtower port area. You have one watchtower here, you have another watchtower here. There isn't really much of a build inside of these. There's a small area here for someone to sit, and then there is a door area here with no real easy way to access the interior without pulling the roof off. For another character, again, we have another super cool brick built door, just very detailed. There's also all the roofing on this, the detail for the tower itself with these sloped off window pieces to all of the slant pieces used to make this roof just taper and look the way it does. And it just looks, I would say the word authentic, but I don't know what a real Viking village looked like. But definitely achieves that fantasy look that LEGO's worked very hard to maintain and provide for anyone that's looking for these types of builds. The bridge itself is actually 2 plastic rope pieces, and then it's just a bunch of these droid arms and 1x2 like slice or slope or plates, these custom plates that just attached at each interval just so someone can walk across it. Definitely pretty cool being able to have this brick built. Pretty neat through and through. We also got some barrels down here along the port area, some mead or whatever it could be. There's also a cave on the back side of this build, as you guys can see right here. We also have fish here for them to potentially catch and eat later on. And just tons of snow and grass pieces. We actually have some stairs here, brick built stairs leading up to the doorway here. Overall, just a pretty, very detailed, lived-in build. Really made to emphasize or show that these Vikings live here. It is very much a Viking village. It is very much as advertised as what LEGO made. Overall, I think the build was enjoyable. I will say that the last build, the watchtower in this larger section, kind of waned on me. It took me a lot longer to build it than I figured it would. Whereas the first 2 builds were really quick. It was like 4 bags and I think 3 or 4 bags as well. So you have 3 and 5 or 4 and 4. But overall, these 2 are more enjoyable through and through. Just was excited to get to the next bag. I really did not enjoy the build for the tower that much. It just was very much like, I felt like I was putting the pieces very like cramped together. I feel like they could have used larger pieces for some aspects of the build. And it would have been a lot better. Like these pole pieces are nice, a nice gap for the watchtower itself. But like some of these, to achieve this detailed look, they used a lot of these 1x1 cylinder pieces, cylinder bricks. And there were just so many of them in this build. I think there was like 30 or 28 for just all 4 corners of each part of the tower. And it was just a lot. It does look very appealing, but it just took a lot out of me when I was building it. And I had to wait like an extra day or 2 to truck on through the build when I had enough free time to get this finished. Overall though, besides the third build being a bit tenuous, I think the build's awesome. It's definitely a good time. Now we're gonna get into some ideas, what you guys can do with this set. and then we'll go ahead and get into the figures. All right, guys, so just going to go through some stuff that you guys can do with this set in tandem with the D&D figures, as this is going to be used as one of my set pieces for the next D&D campaign that I run, or the one shot that I'm currently working on. But as you guys can see here, I have recruited more Dragonborn to the evil sorceress army who control a red dragon. And we have the party over here working with the barbarians to fight back for their home. And that's just one of the ideas you guys could do. You could have an army of skeletons take over this place, and then the barbarians hire the party to come out here and wipe them out so they can get gold or a relic, or, you know, help maybe the barbarian who's the character, you know, it's their family and friends who got run out of here and they went to go get help to take care of that problem. You guys could also get like custom orc and goblin characters that I know that I've seen out there. You could buy some of the Lord of the Ring figures, like the Urukai, and have them run through this place. Just anything with these D&D figures has made sets like this and the other night themed sets incredibly more worth it, because you can now do so much more with them. But just wanted to throw that idea at you guys. As you guys can see, I posed the dragon, and it wasn't hard to do. It's pretty self-explanatory. Just have the attach on and good to go. There's also other dragons you guys can buy too on Bricklink from like the Ninjago series and other sets as well. So the sky is really the limit as far as what this set can do for your LEGO city or for your D&D adventures. Figures for this set. So the first figure we have here is the blacksmith. It's very interesting that they give him a paintbrush and a hammer. Maybe he's going to use the paintbrush to draw out the design before he makes the actual weapon or element that he's going to create. But overall, pretty interesting. He actually has a hole in the back of his head, so if you want to add like a flower or any of those add-on pieces that they've been more inclined to do with some of these other sets, is something you could do, or like sunglasses. Pretty cool figure. You know, you got the front torso and the back with that intricate barbarian design. Just looks good, and it does reuse Thor's hammer. Well, the same mold, not the same design, thankfully, but pretty neat all in all. The next figure we're going to go through is the barbarian king, or their leader. He's an older gentleman with some shoulder pads to show his veterancy. He has beautiful chest printing, beautiful back printing, and he also has some really nice leg and belt printing as well. No arm printing, but overall just very solid through and through. Good printed shield and a sword. And he's got the horned Dovahkiin helmet from Skyrim. If you know, you know. The next character we're going to go through here is the barbarian archer with the same horned helmet. He has a quiver for his arrows and a regular longbow or short bow. You can be whatever you want in your imagination. We got front and torso printing. We got some leg printing as well. Just overall solid. Just a good character all in all. And the last character here we have here is the Watchtower Guardian, is what I'm going to call her. We got a barbarian axe. We got a shield. Some good chainmail torso and back printing there on both sides, and leg printing. Nice ponytail, nice blonde hair color. Pretty cool. You know, I don't know why they would have put her in the Watchtower build. Maybe she's supposed to be at the bottom of the Watchtower. I'd probably put the archer guy up there instead, but pretty neat. Just cool design, definitely different than what we're used to. Overall, the figures are awesome, but they are not the focus of this video. So let's go ahead and jump to that next part. All right, guys, so we're gonna get into my final thoughts here about what I think about this set. Is it worth it for $130 to buy this set at the LEGO store? I will say absolutely is worth it. The 4 figures you get are unique enough to this build that they are not going to be used again, and I think they're great. You're getting the classic LEGO yellow heads. I do think the buildings are all intricately designed with tons of love and flair. That I think it's pretty awesome. You'll be able to use this set, like I mentioned in the previous part of this video, for anything you want. You can use it for your city as like a historical monument, or like a museum type thing. You could use it for your D&D figures as like a set piece or a new location. And if you want to use it as just a display set, you absolutely can just do that as well. This set excels in being a cool creative set that you can do whatever you want with, and as being a cool display piece if you're an enthusiast for Vikings. But I'd love to hear what you guys think about this set down in the comments. Do you guys own it? Are you going to buy it before it retires sometime in the next year or two? Or are you guys going to pass on this set? I'd love to know what you guys think about this review down in the comments. Don't forget to like, hit the notification bell to see all my future videos and content. And as always, I've been Bearded Bricks. I'll see you guys in the next one.